And away we go. It is the Nightcap right here on BearcatJournal.com, brought to you, as always, by our good friends at Galactic Fried Chicken. Visit www.galacticfriedchicken.com. Download the app for Android, iPhone, everything Galactic. Get down to Dayton, Kentucky. Tell them to pump it up. Save yourself 15% on your order. And if you're so inclined, it's football weekend. Maybe no Bengals on Sunday. You're just going to hang out around the house. Contact Galactic Fried Chicken. Set up. They'll cater you. They'll come out, or they won't come out. You're going to have to go pick it up. But they'll get you taken care of for your spread, for your party. Guess what I did today, Aaron?
What's that?
I went to Galactic Fried Chicken.
Nice.
I did. Brought it home for the fam. Got some legs for the girls. Got a couple pieces of fried chicken for myself, some French fries, some mac and cheese. Got me a new bottle of sauce for the fridge. Excited about that. So all in all, just a great. I think I want to try like ribs. Like I normally I use like a mustard binder or something like that on my ribs. I want to use the sauce as the binder on my ribs for my rub. I think I'm going to do that soon.
You know how it is?
I will. All right, let's get to it. It is always one of our big nights of the week. I love nights that we have pre-planned content. Friday night is one of those nights as we do our 3 keys to the game. And the prediction article is up. Our predictions are in there. Go look at that. And Aaron, let's get to your 3 keys.
So my first one, I did a little more research as I was waiting for you to come in. Less penalties. Thus far through the season, you have in the first game 10 for 65, in the second game 10 for 90, third game 10 for 99, and just last week against Indiana 8 for 77, which totals
only 8. That's an improvement. It's fine.
Sure. Totals 38 for 331, which averages 9.5 a game for 82.75 yards per game. And only Utah State at 47 penalties, 432 yards, 86.4 yards per game. South Alabama, 37 penalties, 340.
They can see it. This is a visual format. They can see it.
Well, there you go. Only Utah State, South Alabama, and Houston are worse.
Yeah, they need to cut down on the pen. I didn't think there were as many mental penalties against Indiana. We didn't see a bunch of false starts. We didn't see a bunch of illegal formation or delay of game, like things that you can prevent. I thought those were less. You're going to get penalties of aggression with the Luke Fickell team. That's you know what? 4 or 5 of those were pass interference.
3 alone on Justin Harris.
Yeah, so you're going to get some of those. Those don't bother me as much, but you're right. Being 4th from last in all of Division I football.
It's really bad.
Not great.
The second point I have, win in the trenches. I think this game is going to be very close. I projected it, I believe, 34-31. I think that it's going to be within a touchdown. I know Cincinnati is favored by 10, I believe, right now.
Yeah.
But I think that you have to continue to get to the quarterback, which they've done at a very high rate. This team, Tulsa, has run the ball very well against Cincinnati over the course of the last several seasons. So I don't expect them, especially if they're not running Davis Brin in at quarterback. I think they're going to be a little more pass heavy than what you've seen from Tulsa. Run heavy than what we've seen of Tulsa yet so far this season. We need to figure out how to run the ball again, as apparently that's become an issue of late, and continue to protect the quarterback. But I think that this game is largely going to be won in the trenches. And my third point, you have to get back to converting third downs. In game 1 against Arkansas, you were 8 of 16 third down, and even 1 for 1 on fourth down. Against Miami, 5 of 8. Against Kennesaw State, 5 of 8. Against Miami, 7 of 14. And then against Indiana last week, only 5 of 16 and 0 for 1 on fourth down. So those third down, fourth down conversion rates, Indiana came back. I mean, we're starting to get a little nervous in the second half there. And if you're not converting third down, that's what happens.
Yeah, that was really weird because it was like their quarterback, Basilak, was a complete disaster on first and second down.
Right.
And then the most accurate quarterback in the world on third down. It was like he was throwing it everywhere on first and second down. And then on third down, like,
yeah, you and I literally had that conversation on the sidelines in the fourth quarter. So, yeah.
It was weird.
So those are my 3 key points. And we'll see how it plays out tomorrow evening.
All right. Let me get to mine. Again, yours are a lot more detailed than mine. All right. Stay clean. They were pretty clean against Indiana, as I just mentioned. There were penalties, but they weren't mental. They weren't things that started your drives 1st and 15, 2nd and 13. There weren't a plethora of shooting yourself in the foot errors that this team had made in the first 3 weeks. So and also take care of the football. Can't have turnovers, especially turnovers deep in your own territory, like we saw against Miami. They've got to get better on some of the interception stuff too. I know the numbers aren't alarming in terms of interceptions, but it's enough to be like, all right, like maybe we can knock that down even a little. You know, there've been balls go through a guy's hands and get tipped up. Those aren't necessarily the fault of the quarterback, but they still happen. And they still can derail a close game on the road. And the road worries me because that's another one of those things that you learn over time, how to consistently go on the road, stay clean, and win games. It didn't happen at Oklahoma. Miami it's away from Nippert Stadium. So I think that fits my talking point here. They weren't clean at Miami. The fumbles allowed Miami to hang around.
Right.
So stay clean. Under pressure. Whether it's Davis Bren or his backup, continue putting consistent, heavy pressure on the quarterback. And I say that because Tulsa's line has handled Cincinnati's defense for the most part over the last 2 seasons.
Sure.
Cincinnati's defense has not been able to penetrate that Oklahoma line or that Tulsa line. And that has been a staple of why this defense has been so good over the first 4 games, is because even when they're not getting to the quarterback, they're not letting them be comfortable. They're flushing them out of the pocket. Quarterbacks haven't been able to just stand there and survey the field. And especially if Davis Brin does play, that's a guy that's chucked it around a lot.
Sure.
And you have to get him, if he plays and he has a bum ankle or a bum foot, boy.
Even more reason to get to him.
Even more reason. Be the TE. You have to think, Aaron. You have to think teams are going to start playing Tyler Scott and Trey Tucker differently.
Sure.
You have to think they're going to stop going cover 4 and allowing free shots, free run down the field for Cincinnati's wide receiver. What that should do, open up Josh Wiley and Lenny Taylor over the middle. I think teams have gone with that cover 4 as a preventative measure because they know Cincinnati has 2 NFL tight ends. Now you have proven your wide receivers are every bit as good as your tight ends.
Right.
That should open up the middle of the field for the tight ends. And I think Ben Bryant so far has been a take what the defense gives him quarterback.
Yeah, I don't think he's really forced it too much,
What the defense has given him are shots, and he's taken the shots. Yeah. If defenses start taking away the shots, and this is a team that generally plays a 3-3-5, they've got the extra DB on the field consistently. They're gonna, try to bracket, I think. I think this is a chance for the tight ends to have a breakout game where you see them combined for 6, 7, 8 catches, 130 yards and a touchdown or 2. And because what do we always talk about? It's how you react to the reaction. The reaction is to Cincinnati hitting home runs. If the Tulsa defense reacts to that by playing guys at the wall, then you hit doubles. And I think the tight end gives them an opportunity to hit doubles. I have a question for you before we go.
Okay.
Give me a second. Should have planned this a little better, but
while you're doing that, I'll bring something up that I just retweeted. I don't know if you saw this, but Jordan Marshall in the
threw up the
UC. Yeah,
that kid's a beast. I think he's the best offensive player in the city.
They're also playing at Nippert for what it's worth. He wasn't just doing that.
Yeah, sure.
At Moeller, but just worth mentioning.
So in light of what we saw last night, this is Tulsa's number one wide receiver, Keelan Stokes. They put him back in the game last week, Aaron.
I think that if you play him tomorrow, based on what we saw last night with Tua, you are doing a disservice to Keelan Stokes.
I don't even want to watch it again. Like
to the team. I felt that way after watching Tua last week on Sunday.
I did too. I had the same reaction when I found out they put Tua back in the game last week. What are we doing? Adults are supposed to be like the doctors and the medical personnel. How could you watch that and not just take that kid out of the game and take his helmet away? What, because you're playing Ole Miss? Like, it really? That's where we're at?
I was even concerned about T. Higgins in the game on Sunday after he was concussed in week 1, sat out week 2 with a concussion, and then got leveled last week in week 3.
Yeah, but he didn't fall down. He didn't lose bodily function.
He did get up, though, and said, I'm okay, which we know that these guys don't want to come out of the game. Like, I get it. But
I mean...
Yeah, especially for Keelan Stokes. Like, in college, like, you're not playing for a paycheck. You're not playing for bonuses. You're playing...
He did the stanky leg.
Not on purpose.
Right. Because his brain wasn't working.
But what you saw last night with Tua and with the investigation going on and the fact that there could certainly be lawsuits.
I can't... I mean...
We'll see.
They're going to play him. Like, I'd put money on that. But...
I hope not.
Do right by the kids, man.
Because that's all they are. Like, right. I mean, they got their whole lives ahead of them.
Silly. All right, that's a wrap. We will be at the Holy Grail tomorrow. I will be at the Holy Grail tomorrow night. Make sure you come out and check me out. Watch party for the game. Get yourself some Galactic fried chicken, maybe for lunch. We'll see you tomorrow night to recap late what happens right here on the Nightcap, brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken on BearcatJournal.com.
See ya!